Hello everyone, welcome back to your physics class. I hope you all are good. In the previous video we have started chapter 3rd, light energy, and you have studied about reflection of light and types of reflection, regular and irregular reflection, and you have also learned about mirrors, how the mirrors can be constructed and the properties of the mirrors, and you have also learned about the terms related to reflection, that are incident ray, reflected ray, normal, point of incidence. The incident ray is that which is falling on the reflecting surface of the mirror from a source of light, that is coming from a source of light, and the light ray which bounces back from the reflecting surface of the mirror is known as reflected ray. And if we draw a straight line perpendicular to the reflecting surface of the mirror is known as the normal, and the angle between the incident ray and normal is known as angle of incidence, and the angle between the reflected ray and normal is known as the angle of reflection. And this is the point of incidence at which the incident ray is striking on the reflecting surface of the mirror. So you are familiar with all these terms. So the first law of reflection is, as there are two laws of reflection, the first law of reflection states that the incident ray, the reflected ray, the normal and the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. These are lying in the same plane. As there can be different planes, so all the things are lying in the same plane. Or we can say that all of these will neither go into or nor out of the plane of paper. So these are having the same plane. And the second law of reflection is that the angle of incidence will always be equal to the angle of reflection. Which type of reflection is taking place, the angle of incidence will always be equal to the angle of reflection. Here you can see this is the angle of incidence and this is the angle of reflection. If we name these rays M, this is O and this is P, then we will see that angle MON will be equal to angle NOP. That means angle I will always be equal to angle R. If this angle is 30 degree, then this angle will also be 30 degree. If this is 45 degree, then this will be also equal to 45 degree. So this is the second law of reflection. So I hope this topic is clear to you. Next is the activity to verify the laws of reflection. We have studied about the laws of reflection, but if we want to confirm these laws of reflection, or we want to verify these laws of reflection, then we can do many activities. Out of them I am going to explain one of the activity. So for this activity, what you have to do, firstly you can take a plain paper or you can take a white paper, then you will draw a line, straight line on that paper, and after that you will place a small mirror vertically on this line. And firstly you can skip this point. Later on you can take the mirror and place, and firstly you will draw a you will draw a straight line, and after that you will take a protractor, and by using a protractor draw an angle of any measure, say 30 degree. We have drawn here 30 degree. So this angle is of 30 degree. When we draw this angle, at this line, we will place the source of light. That source of light you can take battery. So from battery, light will come and it will fall on the mirror when we place the mirror on this line vertically. So when it falls on the plane mirror, then due to reflection, it will go like this. It will bounce back from the reflecting surface of the mirror, and we will draw a normal at this point. This is, as we know, this is the point of incidence where the ray of light is falling. Here this is the battery. At this line we will place a battery and it will follow the same path, and this is known as the incident ray, and this is the point of incidence O that I have denoted, and after that it will bounce back from the reflecting surface of the mirror, and this is known as the reflected ray. So at this point then we will draw a straight line perpendicular to the mirror, that will be known as normal. After that we will take protractor and we will place that protractor on this line, and we will measure this angle and also this angle. So when we measure this angle, if these angles come equal to each other, then this will prove the laws of reflection, and clearly all the things will lie in same plane. So the first law of reflection also holds, and the second law of reflection will also hold if these two angles will be equal. For example, if this angle measures to be of 60 degree, then this angle should be also equal to 60 degree, because this will wholly complete as 90 degrees. So I just assumed it 60 degree. So in this way you can verify the laws of reflection, or you can follow the other activity. You can do the other activity that is mentioned on your book. You can read that activity. Next is image formed by a plane mirror. So as we have learnt about plane mirror, that when we see ourselves in the mirror, then we see our image in the plane mirror. So plane mirror can form images of different objects. Firstly, we will study the image of a point object, and second, after that we will study the point of an object, image of an object larger than the point object. That means firstly we will take a point object, and after that we will study the image formation by a plane mirror of an enlarged object or larger object than a point-sized object. So this is the ray diagram or the image formation of a point object by a plane mirror, or you can say this is a ray diagram of the image formed by a plane mirror of a point object. So here you can see this is a plane mirror. We can name it as M dash, and in front of the plane mirror, in front of the reflecting surface of the plane mirror, a point-sized object that is known as point object O is placed. As we know, from all the parts of this point object, the light rays will come, but we will consider only 2 or 3 rays coming from the point object. When light falls on any object, then light rays will come from all points of that object. But here we have considered only 2 or 3 rays of light that we want to show to draw the image of the object. Learn it very carefully how to draw the image of an object. So firstly we will represent a straight line or a perpendicular line falling on the mirror that is coming from the point object. So we will draw this arrow. This arrow shows that the ray of light is going towards this direction, and it hits the mirror, hits the reflecting plane of the mirror at an angle of 90 degree. That means it will hit perpendicularly on the mirror. And see, if any ray of light hits the mirror perpendicularly or at an angle of 90 degree, then it will go back along the same path. That means it will follow the same path and it will go back. So this arrow will shows the return path of the incident ray. So this is the reflected ray. So this is the first ray, and if we extend this ray like this, then we will this will be extended like this. After that we consider another ray that from point O, and this ray is named as OP. When this ray hits the plane mirror, then due to reflection it will be reflected along PR. So this is the reflected ray, this is the second incident ray, and this is the second reflected ray. And if we extend this ray back, it will be extended like this, and after that there is third ray coming from point object O and falls on the plane mirror at point Q, and it will be reflected along QS. And if we extend all of these rays backwards, then all these rays will meet at point I. That is the image of the point object. All of these rays, where all the rays that we have extended, जिनको हमने extend किया है, where the point where all these rays will meet after extending these, that point will be known as the image of the point object. So you can see that the image will be formed by the extension of these light rays backwards, or we can say that this is the point where these light rays will appear to come from. जिससे ये जो light rays हैं ये लग रही हैं कि यहाँ से जो rays of light है वो आ रही हैं. So this point is known as the image of the point object, and after reflection these will enter into the observer's eyes. Here is the viewer जो कि ये जो object है इसको देख रहा है और यहाँ पर इसको उसकी image दिखाई देगी. So this is the image of the point object, and here the observer will see the image of the point object. So this is the way you can draw a ray diagram, or this is the image formation of a point object formed by a plane mirror. Next is the image of an object larger than the point object. So in the book there is the image formation of ourselves, that if we stand in front of the plane mirror, then our image will be formed behind the plane mirror. And one more thing you should learn, that the image formed by a plane mirror is always virtual. What is virtual image? Virtual image is that which is always formed behind the plane mirror. That means on the opposite side as that of the object. Object is on this side but the image is on this side. So that image is known as virtual image. We will next study about real and virtual images. What is virtual image and what is real image? So the next is the image of an object larger than the point object. So here I have just considered a large pencil. So in this we will draw the image of an pencil. You can also draw the image that you can see in your book. So firstly, this is the object and this is the tip of the pencil, this is the end point of the pencil, and we have denoted it as A, and this is point B. So from every point of the pencil the light rays will come, but we have considered only two rays. The first ray is AC, which is falling on the plane mirror perpendicularly, and that will come back along the same path because it is striking the mirror perpendicularly, and we will extend this line. Further, a ray of light is coming and falling on the mirror like this. It is inclined, and after reflection it will go along the path DE. That means it will be reflected along D, and further if we extend it, then these two rays will meet at point A dash. And next, from the end part of the pencil, a ray of light again which is falling perpendicularly on the mirror will go back like this, and another ray of light, that is FG, that is BF, will fall on the mirror and it will reflected along the path FG. So when we extend these two rays of light, then these will meet at point B dash. So this is A dash, B dash. If we complete it, that will be the image of this pencil, because if we draw the rays from every point of this pencil, then this image of the pencil will be formed on the other side of the mirror. So in this way we can draw the image of an object which is larger than the point object. But we can see that there is one point to be noted, that we shouldn't need that size of the mirror which is of the which size we have taken for the object. That means कि जितना साइज हमने ऑब्जेक्ट का लिया है, ये जरूरी नहीं कि मिरर भी उतना ही बड़ा होना चाहिए. मिरर कुड वर्क एज हाफ, वो क्या है, हाफली भी वर्क कर सकता है. So it is not necessary that we have to pick up as large image as we are. It can also form our image if it is half in size. So you can see in read in the book about the image formation of ourselves, how the image is formed. So I hope this topic is also clear to you. And here I have also drawn the normal and the angle of incidence and angle of reflection, because at every point reflection is being followed, so the angle of incidence will always be equal to the angle of reflection. So in this way the image of the pencil is formed on the other side of the plane mirror, and this image is also the virtual image because this is formed by the on the other side of the plane mirror, and also the rays of light these appear to come from point A dash. This line appears to come from point A dash, and this ray of light also appears to come from point B dash. So this type of image is known as a virtual image. Next topic is lateral inversion. What is lateral inversion? As we know that if we see our right hand in the mirror, it will appear left to us, and if we see our left hand, then it will appear right to us in the plane mirror. That means the image of the left hand will appear as right hand, and image of the right hand will be appear as left hand. And if we pick a pen or pencil in the left hand, then it will appear in the right hand. So this phenomena in which the left side of an object appears to be right side, in its image, or vice versa, is called lateral inversion. Or we can see if the right side of an object appears to be left side in its image, then that phenomenon is known as lateral inversion, जिसमें हमें क्या है, right left दिखेगा और left है जो right दिखेगा. So this is the ray diagram showing lateral inversion. Here I have taken a letter P out of the alphabet. Everything shows lateral inversion, so alphabetical words also show lateral inversion. Here you can see this is the letter P, and this is the reflecting surface of the mirror. So when we have put a letter P in front of the plane mirror, then rays of light are coming from this P point, P letter, because rays of light will come from every part of this letter P. We have drawn 2 or 3 rays of light from the starting and from the middle and from the end. So when the rays of light reflect from the mirror, then these will follow this path, and if we extend these lines behind the mirror, then we will see that this image will be formed. So that means P will be seen inverted on the other side of the mirror, or we can say that this is the image of this P, letter P, which is placed in front of the plane mirror. So this is the ray diagram showing the lateral inversion. Activity you can do to understand the phenomena of lateral inversion, that you can do very easily. You can take anything, you can hold anything in your hand, and you just see in front by standing in front of the mirror. Then you will see that if you hold any object in your right hand, then it will appear left, and if you hold any object in the left hand, it will appear right. So vice versa, this you can do. Next is, there is very important application of this thing, that you all have seen that sometimes, not sometimes, every time you see the ambulance, and you have seen that the words of the ambulance are written invertedly. These are not written like this, ambulance. These are written from E-C-A-N-A, means in the inverted pattern. Why this is written in the inverted or backward? Because the driver of the vehicle, that is the head of the ambulance, can read the word in correct order when he views in the rear view mirror of the vehicle. Whenever the driver any vehicle is ahead of the ambulance, then he or she can give way to the ambulance by seeing the word ambulance in the rear view mirror of his vehicle. If he or she sees this word, if it is written like this, then it will be read in backward. But if it is written backwards, then he or she will see the correct order of this word ambulance. So that's why this is written or printed backwards on an ambulance van. This is the reason. Next is the real and virtual images. What are real images and what are virtual images? So see here, real images are those which can be produced or captured on screen, जिनको हम स्क्रीन पे प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इमेज फॉर्म्ड बाय कर्ड मिरर्स. कर्ड मिरर्स कौन से होते हैं? कन्वेक्स मिरर, कनकेव मिरर्स दैट आर यूज्ड इन द व्हीकल्स. जैसे कि कार में जो मिरर्स होते हैं, बसेस में या फिर जो बाइक्स में जो मिरर्स लगे होते हैं, दीज आर कर्ड मिरर्स, जिनमें से कुछ ऑल आर कन्वेक्स. इन द व्हीकल्स वी आर यूजिंग द कन्वेक्स मिरर्स, and concave mirrors are also used like as for magnifying purposes and other purposes. So the image which are formed by the curved mirrors or which are projected on the projector screens, means कि जो प्रोजेक्टर्स में जो इमेजेस बनती हैं, क्योंकि उनको भी हम स्क्रीन पे प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं. जैसे कि सिनेमाज में है, वहाँ पर भी जो इमेजेस हैं वो स्क्रीन पे प्रोड्यूस हो सकती हैं, तो उनको हम बोलेंगे रियल इमेजेस. बट रियल इमेजेस आर ऑलवेज इन्वर्टेड इमेजेस. Real images are always inverted images, and virtual images are those which are found like a plane mirror. जो प्लेन मिरर इमेज में आता है, दैट इज नोन एज वर्चुअल इमेज, बिकॉज उसको किसी भी स्क्रीन पे प्रोड्यूस नहीं किया जा सकता. वर्चुअल इमेजेस कैन नॉट बी प्रोड्यूस्ड और कैप्चर्ड ऑन एनी स्क्रीन, because these are always found behind the mirror, and these are virtual images, and these virtual images are always upright. We see ourselves upright, not inverted. Inverted means कि if this pen is like this, then its real image will be like this. But in a virtual image, if the object is like this, then the object will also be like this. So these are the virtual. But then you will say that how we can see the erect image in the projectors and in the cinemas, because there are some extra lenses used in the projectors and the cinemas that will make the images again erect. So that's why we see that images as erect images, but actually that were inverted. Next is that these are formed on the location where light rays actually meet, but these are formed in location where the light rays do not actually meet, because here you have seen that light rays are not actually meeting, these are extended, these are produced backwards. So that's why these are virtual images, but these are formed when the light rays actually meet. Or we can, there is one other more difference, that images formed on the same side of the object that are known as real image, but images formed on the opposite side of the mirror are known as virtual images. And the point is located behind the mirror where reflected rays do not really meet, actually वो meet नहीं करेंगे. So this is all about the lateral inversion. So I hope the topics are clear to you. Thank you.